Hey everyone. So if you're a leader, you know your day is just a constant stream of decisions, right? But the real trick isn't just making a choice. It's making that choice with a really clear, unbiased mind. Today, we're going to dig into the hidden traps our brains set for us and give you some tools to find that true clarity. I mean, really think about it. You've seen it happen. Brilliant, super experienced leaders who make a call that, looking back, seems just obviously wrong. So why does this happen? It's definitely not about IQ points or not having enough data. Nope, it's something way more subtle, something going on just under the surface. You see, every single one of us is running on a kind of hidden script. It's this unconscious bundle of mental shortcuts, assumptions, and biases that our brain uses to get through the day without having to overthink everything. And yeah, that script helps us move fast, but it can also secretly guide us straight to the wrong conclusion, especially when the pressure's on. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the script. Now, the goal here isn't to just erase it. Honestly, that's impossible. The goal is to get aware of it, to learn how to read it and to know when to hit pause and say, wait a minute, maybe there's a different way. To do that, we've got to understand the how. How does our mind build these faulty conclusions so fast and, let's be honest, so convincingly? We've got to learn how to deconstruct our own sense of being right. Turns out, there's a really powerful model that shows us exactly how this happens. And this is it, the ladder of inference. It's basically a map of how we race up these mental steps, often in less than a second. We start with some raw, observable fact, and before we even know what's happened, boom, we formed a rock-solid belief that's now driving our actions. So look at these steps. Down at the bottom, you have reality. Let's say a team member, Allie, is quiet during a meeting. That's a fact. We select that piece of data. Then we start climbing. We add meaning. Allie must be disengaged. We make an assumption. He's not committed to this project. We draw a conclusion. I can't rely on him. And just like that, we form a belief. Allie just isn't a team player. See how lightning fast that was? The most important skill here is learning to climb back down that ladder and ask, okay, wait, what did I actually see and hear? All right, so how do we get better at climbing down that ladder? How do we catch ourselves before we act on these half-baked beliefs? Well, that's exactly what our bias-busting toolkit is for. We're going to walk through 3 super practical tools you can start using, like today, to clear up your decision-making. First up, we've got the bias audit. This is basically an active scan. You're deliberately checking your own thinking for some of the most common and, frankly, dangerous biases out there. Think of it like running a diagnostic check on your own strategy. And here are 3 huge ones to watch out for. Are you only looking for data that proves you're right? Well, that's confirmation bias. Are you throwing good money after bad on a failing project just because you've already spent so much? That's the sunk cost fallacy. Or are you totally stuck on the first number that was mentioned in a negotiation? That's anchoring. The key is to just pause and ask yourself, which of these might be messing with my judgment right now? Auditing for biases is awesome for what's happening now, but what about preventing problems down the road? Our second tool is all about being proactive, about stress testing your plans so you can see what's coming. It's called the pre-mortem, and let me tell you, this is one of the most effective strategic exercises you can possibly do with your team. Instead of waiting for a project to fail and then doing a post-mortem to figure out what went wrong, you flip the script and do it right at the beginning. And this just lays it out perfectly. The post-mortem is reactive. The pre-mortem is proactive. You get your team in a room and you say, okay, everyone, imagine it's 6 months from now and this project was a complete and total disaster. Tell me what went wrong. It's such a simple shift, but it's absolutely genius. Why? Because it frees everyone from the pressure of having to be optimistic. It gives them permission to voice all the potential risks and worries right up front. So our first 2 tools were about process and technique. This third and final tool, though, this one goes deeper. It's about cultivating an inner state of mind that actually allows for real insight, for judgment that isn't all fogged up by our own personal needs and fears. We call this a spiritual anchor. It's less about what you do and way more about who you're being in that moment of decision. It's a really fundamental shift in your whole mindset. This anchor is a concept called basira, which basically means profound insight. And look, this isn't about being smart. It's about being wise. Basira shows up when we can detach our ego from the outcome. The second you need a project to succeed for your reputation, or you need to be the one with the right answer, your judgment is toast. This practice is all about seeing the situation for what it actually is, not just what you want it to be. And that's the whole journey right there in a nutshell. It's about going from being unconsciously yanked around by that hidden script, just reacting based on old habits and biases, to leading with a conscious, clear, and unbiased mind. It's the big shift from being reactive to being responsive. This Thomas Jefferson quote just nails it. Having an unbiased mind is what lets you know the difference between something that's just a matter of style, where you can be flexible, and a matter of principle, where you have to be unwavering. Without that clarity, it's so easy to get them mixed up, right? We stand firm on the small stuff and we cave on the things that actually matter.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Think about the week you have coming up. What's one decision, big or small, that you could look at again through a clearer lens? How can you climb down your ladder, run a quick bias audit, and detach your ego just enough to see with real insight? Because that, right there, is where the real work of leadership begins.